Tiago Canola provisionally on pole. Chris Moses in second, and Aaron Parsons right behind in third.
That should be back up now.
Looks like something's going on.
Here we go.
And there we go.
I apologize for that. Not sure what happened. But the feed is back on. As we were going through the rundown here. Connie in 22nd. We got about just under 17 minutes to go here in the 45-minute qualifying session for Super Pole. Trussler. Mike Trussler, 23rd in that vet. Mike's had a bit of bad luck this season. He's been caught up in a few things. Most notably that incident at Bathurst when Schubeck had his little lag out. Trussler paid dearly getting into the back of Schubeck's lagged out car, and that really killed him. But I expect Trussler to improve in the next season. He's showing some good pace.
I don't think there's any question. Put in a couple points earning results at Magny-Cours and Fuji early on in the season, but you know what? Had, like you say, many opportunities to finish very solidly in the points on numerous occasions, ran into that bad luck. So good to have Mike Trussler around in his first full season here at NAGP.
So Greg Myers in 24th. Matt Taylor 25th. Great Tricks exiting the pit lane now. He's in 26th. Kevin Miller. A little surprised to see Kevin this far back. He's running in 27th. But no doubt we'll see Kevin move his way up through the field. He's another guy that tends to find himself way up. Way up in the field in the early laps. Usually the first stint does quite well. Jack Ivey, our Thursday night broadcaster. He's back at 28th. He's Greg Myers' teammate. Jack on his out lap. His as Johnny takes it off track. But Johnny was in 29th. Liquid Lou Mascarelli in 30th. In the other Audi, Dan Wilkerson, 31st. Phil Hooks, 32nd. Kreshnik Khalili, 33rd. Randy Chenoweth, 34th. Jonathan Cuppett, the other Mustang, 35th. Ken Rodriguez, co-host on Thursday nights, he's in 36th. Those are our runners right now. Tiago Canola continues to lead here in qualifying. Just 0.05 of a second up on Chris Moses as Canola. We pick him up here in the second sector. Let's jump on board with him.
Yeah, and as you watch him circulate around the track, I'll give you another update here. David Poole actually turned in a very nice lap there with a 2:18.0. Wyatt Gooden was languishing a bit back there in 8th, but Wyatt Gooden has moved himself into the 5th place provisionally.
Oh, Canola's way off the pace. So looks like he's going to throw this lap away and try again. Chris Moses on an out lap. Let's jump on board with Aaron Parsons. He's about to start a lap. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, looking through timing and scoring here, we still haven't seen any movement from Alex White, unless that movement is counted towards the downward trend. Alex White just now starting a hot lap here with 12 minutes to go, but Alex White currently provisionally 10th. And we have seen him not have a good result or two when kind of put back in the field So Alex White will definitely want to improve from that 10th spot.
Well, that's the thing he's got to worry about. He doesn't want to start too far back in the pack. As we've seen in the past, well, we saw last week, we didn't catch it on the broadcast, but there was a bit of a schmozzle, as you would call it, Brad, there off the start line, and a bunch of guys got caught up. But that's something he's going to have to avoid if he's going to want to win this. But I'm sure he knows what he needs to do.
Indeed.
So Parsons was just over a tenth off in that first sector.
Yeah, these guys are pushing really hard at the moment. I think they're finding the limit and then going just a little bit over it as well as they push that little bit of extra speed. Here in the next 11 and a half minutes, we're going to see exactly who can hold on to it and who's going to be left behind.
Parsons on the run up to Blanchimont. This is such a great corner when you get it right. Parsons is 0.3 off. Yeah, you don't want to go too wide on the exit of Blanchimont. That surface out there outside the track is doesn't have much grip, so guys got to be careful when they run out there.
Yeah, it won't necessarily hurt you in the overall second sector time, but it will definitely hurt you in the third sector.
See if Parsons was able to make up some time. He doesn't. Remains in third. David Poole now up to fourth. So David Poole, only 3 guys in the 17s, Canola, Moses, and Parsons. You mentioned Poole with an 18 flat.
Yeah, and there are some very close times for that 6th place at the moment. So Monroy, Prieto, Jolicoeur has chimed in, shocking, and Mayfield, they're all within about a tenth of each other. So some important spots there with not much time between those guys. But after all, it really is a run for the front row here. And so, boy, if you aren't on the front row, you're still racing your way into this thing.
So good and 0.6 off in that second split. May have a shot at fourth here with Paul up ahead.
Yeah, White giving up quite a bit of ground there in the second sector relative to the guys around him.
So Wyatt does not. Remains in fifth. Monroy now has dropped down to 6th. And Prieto remains right behind his teammate in 7th. Jolicoeur is running in 8th. Mayfield's in the top 10 in 9th. And Alex White, as you mentioned, in 10th. Riding along with Chris Moses, 0.2 off in sector 1. Whoa! Nearly threw it off track. Got his teammate just ahead of him. Oh, his teammate. Schubeck getting in his way. That's
a team miscommunication.
That certainly is. That's not going to go over well in the debrief.
I tell you, it's interesting. I'm just taking a look at Alex White's lap times here. Of course, our GT2 championship leader, and they're very inconsistent. That's very also unlike Alex White. So it has some wildly varying times here in the 18s and 19s. Only coming up with that 18.6 so far for that 10th spot provisionally. It's 8 minutes to go, Al. We're running out of laps.
Yeah, that's only a couple laps for these guys as Moses, he was way off in sector 2. Might want to give himself a little bit of a gap here if he's going to... Well, that's actually Canola up ahead, so he's probably going to stay on his tail. So both these guys are going to start laps together. So looks like Moses is going to let Canola show him the way around here. Oh, Canola's going to back off. He knows better.
Yeah, Chris Moses is one of those guys that likes a rabbit to chase, and that actually probably was a good move. Oh, as Moses takes it off wide. All right, I am behind on the broadcast watching.
We're taking a look at the time here. We got 6 minutes to go. Tell you what, Montgomery Jr.'s not far off Alex White's time there in 11th. White in 10th, so...
No, and Salem has been up around that 10th spot really the whole qualifying session. So Salem Montgomery Jr. putting in some very nice laps, and a particularly good one with that 18.8.
Right along with Salem now as he just exits Lacombe. He's got one of the Team Columbia drivers up ahead.
And as you watch him circulate around, I was also taking a look at John Houston there. John Houston was languishing back quite a bit and moved up to 13th at one point, finds himself in 15th now, but John Houston has moved up a couple spots.
So Montgomery Jr. about 9/10 off in that first sector. Right
this is exciting stuff.
Absolutely, just right along with Salem. See if he's able to leapfrog White. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I was going to say it's exciting stuff here in this session, and we still have another whole session to go yet.
So if anybody's just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of Super Pole from Spa GT2. Got 5 minutes to go in this 45-minute qualifying session. We got the 30-minute qualifying race immediately following this session. So stick around. It's going to be a good one.
So Chris Moses lining up now, coming around to start a hot lap. He is going to get 2 more timed laps in. I assume he's taking fuel for 2 more timed laps. And he is going to come in right toward the end of the buzzer, I think.
White exiting the pit lane now. We're watching Ryan Mayfield. Mayfield in the 9th spot. Salem was not able to improve on his lap time.
Boy, got most of the field out on track, Al, as they coming down to it here with 4 minutes left.
Yeah, a lot of guys. Those guys up front are really nailing that first sector. Go ahead.
Yeah, Andres has just brought it back into the pits, Al. He's going to have to get out like right now if he wants to get another shot at this thing.
Well, he's trying to head out now, but it's going to be really close. He may be able to get 1 lap in, but he's going to have to be on it.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Watching Canola now. On board with Tiago, trying to improve on his provisional pole time.
Yeah, that track temperature has gone up 1 single degree to 73 degrees. The ambient has gone up to 57. Might help just that little extra bit.
Canola's off. I'm really surprised how inconsistent these guys are.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Absolutely. We've seen those good times put in. Oh, Ian Jolicoeur has gone to provisionally to 3rd with a 17.7 here late, Al.
Wow. Well, we mentioned it earlier. He's the guy. He's the sleeper tonight. Gonna have to keep our eye on him. And there you have it. Right up to third. He's not locked in for next week, but he'll definitely have a run during the qualifying race. As Tiago does, well, he picked up a little bit of time in that the final sector, but not enough. As Moses approaching the start-finish line. See if Moses can snatch away pole here from Canola. He might just do it. He does! With a 2:17.470. Wow.
And that was his first lap. You know, some of these, I was thinking about it, some of these inconsistencies are probably coming from getting these tires warmed up on that first lap, Al.
And Canola, no doubt, saw that pop up on his screen, and he's gonna see if he can answer back. See how he does here in this first sector. And,
oh wow,
he's down 0.08 of a second.
Watching Aaron Parsons having a little trouble up at Rouge to start his final hot lap. Pulled it off, but was a little squirrely. Ooh. Chris Moses into the pits. He's done.
He's done, but Canola, a bit of a ran wide going into that corner. That's gonna cost him. That little mistake, I think, is gonna kill this lap. He was good in that final sector, though. Oh, yeah, it cost him big time. He's good in the final sector. Not that good enough, I don't think, unless he cuts the track.
Boy, I tell you, Tiago might have escaped with this one. His closest rivals behind are all into the pits. Juan Monroy did pick up some time there with a 17.8. David Poole's the only one left, I think, to challenge, and possibly Wyatt Gooden, Tiago Canola, or Chris Moses for that first or second spot. David Poole coming around to finish up a lap now.
David Poole.
Wyatt Gooden into the pit.
Let's see where Poole ends up. Oh, remains 6, good in pits. Alex White. See if he's able to improve. Ooh, big slide on the exit of La Source. No improvement. Hamilton, he ain't gonna get it in. Kevin Miller to the stripe. No improvement.
Yeah, and I think you're right. That time is a little, I think, disappointing for Kevin Miller. I'm sure that he would have liked a little bit more than that.
Chuck to the line. No improvement.
Hey there, Andres Cole. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast tonight here live on Twitch TV.
Well, I think that's going to do it. Wow. As Chris Moses takes pole here at Spa right at the very end of this session with a great lap. I think...
Boy, and there's some...
Go ahead.
Nope, you're up.
No, I was going to say, I think Canola had a shot. He was just 0.08 of a second off in that first sector, but entering Stavolo, he really pushed it. I'm sorry, turn 13. He really pushed it a little wide there going into that corner, and that cost him dearly.
Well, my caveat to the track record tonight was good conditions. I don't think we had those. Now, Aaron Parsons in that Lambo does hold that track record. If I'm not mistaken, he holds it with that 16.9. I don't think Tiago Canola really took advantage of that second sector, the Lambo's prowess through that second sector. That held Tiago Canola back, but in any event, it was a very exciting finish. Guys looking good up there got bumped back down late in that session, Wyatt Gooden being one of them. So Wyatt will be starting from the 7th position, but good effort by all these guys here tonight, and congratulations, Chris Moses. He's been struggling a little bit this season, but looks in good form here at Spa.
Yep, he hasn't mailed it in just yet, as he's to P1, provision to actually Paul, not provisionally. He got Paul, Canola second, and Jolicoeur. Wow, we told you about Jolicoeur, and he made good on my prediction there.
Now I pegged him for 5th. I only missed that by about let's see here, a hundredth, a little over 10th. So pretty close.
So with qualifying done here, we're just in the qualifying 2 session as we wait for some stragglers to come in here. Guys who may have dropped from the session or waiting to jump in.
I did hear one drop. Haven't seen anybody else come back in yet.
See Johnny Lugnut's joined up here.
Wow, so, yeah, Alex White there in 10th. Andres Prieto miffed his last lap, and so holds at that 18.3, good for 8th place in this qualifying race. Ryan Mayfield, a newcomer, of course. We talked about him last week, holds down that 9th spot.
Brad, it's the just want to confirm the broadcast looking okay for you right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, my laptop, so it's time to switch it out here and get something different at some point. It's holding me down.
Your laptop and my laptop should join a seniors dating service, Al.
Yeah, I think they probably go well together. All right, so for those of you watching the broadcast, if oops, here we go. Hit the wrong button. If you head on over to NorthAmericanGP.com and you want to follow some live timing here for the race, just click on the GT2 live timing button. And from there you can follow your favorite driver here tonight as we head into the warm-up session.
Yeah, it's a warm-up session. These guys will not have to worry about practicing their pit stops. There won't be any of those required here tonight. They're going to be on low fuel. For most of these cars, only going to be about half a tank, actually. And we're going to have a half hour of fun here to decide the starting order for next week's race. Who's going to be in and who's going to be out.
So, luckily for these guys, the race is in the daylight. Track conditions right now in warm-up, 88° Fahrenheit. Track temperature, 77° ambient. Pretty good conditions for a race. Let's see if it can hold up. It does have a tendency to rain quite a bit here. So in terms of setup, Brad, for these cars, I mean, guys tend to run pretty low wing here at this track. I mean, you are on the throttle most of this lap.
Yeah, it's actually more of a medium downforce track. You really do have to get through that second sector pretty well around here. Even if you're in a car not well suited to it, you still have to be able to get through there pretty well. And so really it is kind of more of a medium downforce track. These guys won't be stripping off too much wing, though. I have heard reports from a team or two that have taken off basically all of their wing, but in any event, this setup can be a little tricky around here. Again, you have to get through a rouge lap after lap consistently and safely. So that's what everything else is really based around here, and I'm sure most guys have kind of focused there first and made the car as good as they possibly can around the rest of the place.
Well, we are joined in the broadcast by our pole setter, Chris Moses. Chris, great qualifying lap there late. How does the car feel, and what are you looking forward going into the qualifying race tonight?
Car feels really good, Al. Worked really hard on it here. Right now I'm checking out the radiator opening, so. But I've got high hopes for the race. Hope I get a clean start. I'm just gonna run mediums and hope some of the guys run softs and get them towards the end here.
Yeah, it looked like you had some struggles there at Blanchimont to begin that session, but it also looked like you got them figured out. Is there any setup changes you made with those cool conditions over the course of that session?
Yeah, I got it. I loosened it up some. Wow. But it's pretty good overall. You know, it's just the car lacks front downforce, so I'm better with the car loose, so I can even out the tire wear over this 12-lap run and be strong at the end of the race. So if I do fade back, look for me to be strong at the final laps.
All right, well, great job, Chris, and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, Brett.
Well, there you have it, our pole sitter. Hopefully, while we were watching him around this track, we saw a couple not so glowing moments there, but hopefully the race is a lot cleaner than what we just saw.
Well, it's not uncommon. These guys don't have to practice pit stops, so they're just kind of relearning the track now that it's daylight here, and kind of running each other close, get an idea of the brake marks in traffic. So I'm sure that's all that's down to is dicing close in case they'll need to do it here in the race shortly. So they want to know what not to do.
So I want to thank everybody who has tuned in here tonight. You're watching live coverage of Super Pole from Spa GT2. I want to thank everybody who's been watching us throughout this past season, both in GT1 and GT2. We really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoy the broadcast, and if you think we could do something better, just let us know and send us money. We'll do whatever you want.
I will. Yeah, so this is stacking up to be a very exciting half-hour sprint race here to get into this field. These guys are real close together, and I know that there are some guys that are going to be very fast, perhaps faster than their qualifying pace will show when they're on their feature race fuel load, their qualifying race load. So it's going to be very interesting. I think there will be some guys putting pressure on guys in front of them here close to the front. Not sure, but you might have hit your mute there, Al.
Of course I hit my mute. Well, what I was just going to say is we are finishing up the warm-up session here. We'll be moving over to the race in a moment. And I'm going to tell you what, we're going to have to keep our eye on Joe LaCour, especially at the start. He's going to come out like gangbusters. He's certainly going to want to win this race.
Yeah, Ian Jolicoeur, and then another guy I'm going to be keeping my eyes on is Andres Prieto. Now, I saw them turning those types of times in practice, so perhaps they were on qualifying laps, but I tend to doubt it. I think that their race pace may be a little bit better than they showed in qualifying. That's one of the teams I was talking about.
Well, ideal conditions here for the race. 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 77 degrees ambient. It's sunny, no indication of rain. Let's run down the starting order here tonight, Brad. From pole, Chris Moses. Starting second, Tiago Canola. Ian Jolicoeur will be third. Aaron Parsons fourth. And Juan Monroy fifth.
David Poole starts sixth. Wyatt Gooden starts seventh. Andres Prieto starts eighth. Ryan Mayfield starts ninth. And Alex White is in 10th.
Montgomery Jr. 11th. Christian Hamilton 12th. David Raleigh 13th. Rodrigo Triana 14th. And Jaime Moore is 15th.
John Houston starts 16th. Marty Urin is in 17th. Little surprise. Matt Taylor is in 18th. Thomas Schubeck in 19th. And Kevin Miller rounds out the top 20.
Ryan Story, 21st. Mike Trussler, 22nd. 23rd, Chuck Carter. 24th, John Watson. And 25th, Marco Conti.
Gregory Myers starts 26th. Mike Greetrex is in 27th. Jack Ivey starts 28th. Dan Wilkerson's in 29th. And Lou Mascarelli is in 30th.
31st, Jonathan Cuppett. Khalili, 32nd. Phil Hooks, 33rd. Randy Chenoweth, 34th. Ken Rodriguez, 35th. And Johnny Lugnutz will be starting from the 36th position here tonight. Johnny disconnected in qualified, so he's going to have to start from the back. Any predictions, Brad?
No predictions tonight. It's so hard to call, to figure out how these race starts are going to go. There's always some jostling and jiving there at Eau Rouge, and it's hard to say who's going to get the draft going down that straight, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
It's going to be interesting. You look for Joe LaCour to make a run at the end of the Kimmel Straight here and go for that lead, but we're about to go green here from Spa for the qualifying race, Super Pole in GT2, and we're away. It's a great start for Chris Moses. Ooh, got a little sideways. But he's going to lead the field into Eau Rouge. Joe LaCour also, all the guys in the top four with great starts. Canola going to have a look into one. Moses hangs on to it. Ooh! Monroy takes it off track. Gooden gets ahead of David Poole for the 6th spot. Perta looking on the inside of Gooden, so he takes that back, moves up to 8th. Mayfield getting challenged now by, looks like Montgomery Jr. as they head into Pujol. He's going to get it done. Ooh, Mayfield takes a look on the inside to answer back. They get a little contact, but Mayfield gets past. Wow, a lot of action here in the first lap.
Yeah, a lot of action toward the back. There was Disaster and Schmazel written all over the stars there going into... they're off the Kimmel Straight, but they all got through somehow, and so the race is underway. A quick update, Alex White back to 15th, has been involved in some very heavy traffic here, so losing some spots early is Alex White. Almost out of the points out.
Yeah, he's well out of the points here. Well, that's one thing we failed to mention. We 1 point for the pole position and 3 points will be given up for this race to the top 3. 3 for P1, 2 for the second, and 1 for third. As Moses has started to check out from Canola in second. Joe LaCour hanging on to the back of Canola. This is always interesting, this first run here through Eau Rouge.
Well, I think Aaron's actually the one that has the run.
Ooh, White with a bit of a moment. He's going to get... Oh, he gets tapped from the back. Triana gets by. Ooh, he's getting swamped. 3 cars get past White. He drops down to 18th. Wow, what a moment.
Didn't have the opportunity to see what happened, Al. I have been watching Alex White a little bit, and that BMW has been all over the place.
He drops to 19th now. Looks like Schubeck has taken it off track. Not sure what... Oh, Schubeck's parked it. Schubeck is done. Someone else is done.
Yeah, it has been a very frantic pace here to start. Some guys clearly overdriving a little bit. I think they'll have the opportunity to settle down a little bit now as the grid has become a little bit more spaced out. I certainly hope that's the case, but we are underway here, and I think they will settle down a little bit.
So White now in 19th. Continues to go the wrong direction. Trussell
yeah, I think Alex White
back. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I think Alex White was having a little bit of trouble staying contact free, but I also think perhaps that his pace was not so great to start and was also hampering him, maybe even holding a few guys up.
So Parsons makes the move on Joe LaCour into LaSource. David Poole looking to put the move on Monroy, heading up the Kemmel Straight. See if Poole can get it done on the outside. Ooh, no, has a little bit of contact, flashes his lights. Rejoins in 8th. Gooden manages to get by without issues, so.
Yeah, Gooden, heavy contact there on the driver's side, excuse me, so some type of damage there for Wyatt Gooden, but he has, him and Andres have been around each other quite a bit in Wyatt's short season here, so those two know each other well.
So Preto running in the 6th spot, and if he can manage to get up to 3rd, that would be huge for him. See if he can salvage 1 point from tonight's race, but this is a 12-lap affair.
Yeah, and we are going to run him off pretty quickly. Well, now that Aaron is by Ian Jolicoeur, I'm wondering what kind of pace he's going to have, if he's going to be able to make a dent in Tiago. And he is not too far off of Tiago's bumper, only about 0.6 of a second at the moment.
Certainly is not. May have a run on him here, heading up into the bus stop. He can stay close to him through Eau Rouge. He may have a run on him down the end of the Kemmel.
Aaron Parsons really putting in some strong efforts the second half of this season, despite having some bad luck.
On board with Parsons. Really close to the back of Canola. Bit of wheel spin on the exit of LaSource. It's going to help out Canola a little bit. Wow, both those guys really good through Eau Rouge. It's not going to be close enough.
Just what you'd expect from a couple veteran guys up there running toward the front. Meanwhile, Salem Montgomery Jr. and Jaime Moore are running very close together. And Jaime Moore looking to make the move, actually, on Salem.
Poole and Mayfield going at it. Poole really loves flashing his lights. He must have that thing right next to his finger. Just constantly, like a machine gun.
We'll have to come up with a nickname for that.
Yeah.
Give me a week, Al. I'll come up with something.
So Poole has dipped down to the 9th spot. Looking further back, Montgomery into the top 10 behind his teammate. Rally running in 11th. Marty and Triana 12th and 13th. Hamilton doing quite well in 14th. Kevin Miller, well, like I said, Miller up to 15th. He started pretty far back. Ooh, as Hamilton, he might lose this spot to Miller. Well, it looks like he's got it back together. But Hamilton took it off for a moment there.
Yeah, and I know you're doing your field rundown, but I want to get you a quick update toward the front. Aaron Parsons indeed has latched on to Thiago Canola, and Ian Jolicoeur as well is right there. So that's a three-way battle for the second place at the moment.
Ooh, Connie nearly run into by Moore. Moore was hard on the brakes, a lot of tire smoke. White's only managed to pick up one spot, running in 18th. Houston back in 19th. Great Tricks in 20th. Mascarelli's running 21st. Ooh, here we go. Big battle between Wilkerson, Taylor, Brian Story, and Phil Hooks in 25th. As these guys duke it out, Brian Story going to have a look on the inside at La Circus. And he gets it done. So nice pass by Story.
Yeah, quick update. Aaron Parsons has made the pass on Thiago Canola coming down the Kemmel Straight. Basically, he just blew past him.
Let's see if Taylor's able to answer Brian Story here. Get a run on. Doesn't look like it. Story had a great exit through Eau Rouge. So great battle here in the back. Cuppet, Ivy running in 27th. He's got his buddy Johnny Lugnut's right behind, and Halili in 29th. It's got some damage to the front of that. Mosler. Chuck Carter. Oh, Chuck's falling back a bit. Ken Rodriguez 31st. He's the Trussler's parked it. So Moses has checked out from the field. He's 5 seconds up on Parsons after 4 laps. So quite a run for Moses here in this qualifying race. Interesting
to see. It was 18.9 Aaron Parsons last lap to Chris Moses 18.7. So now that he's beyond Thiago Canola, it'll be interesting to see if he can make any ground on Chris Moses, but I am not sure.
So Rich Roman in the chat says it's Machine Gun Joe. Who was that gangster? Machine Gun Kelly, right? Wasn't he or was he a boxer? I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, we'll continue taking submissions.
A lot of potential there. So meanwhile, back to the race, and Canola starting to lose ground to Parsons.
Yeah, as Aaron Parsons did make that move going into Lacombe, actually, Ian Jolicoeur had a look at Thiago as well. They had a little bit of contact. Ian Jolicoeur was forced into some defensive maneuvers off the racing surface there, but otherwise might be a little closer to Thiago than he is. Boy, they're stacking up right behind there.
Absolutely on board with Wyatt Gooden in 7th. It's a 3-way, actually a 4-way battle as David Poole, Mayfield is involved. So we got teammates, Team Columbia, and Mayfield and Gooden. These two teams going at it. David Poole is involved as well.
Yeah, one heck of a battle, and you know, I don't think team order should be out of the question here. I think if there's an opportunity for Juan Monroy to get Andres Prieto through, I think that might be a good decision from a team standpoint.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Brad. I just think Prieto's going to need more of a gap on Gooden to get it done. Ooh, as both Gooden and Prieto run a bit wide, and now Mayfield may have a look on his teammate Gooden. He's taking a look on the inside. Wow. And Mayfield gets it down. Wow, going into Blanchimont.
Oh. Really?
There you go. So nice pass by Mayfield, takes advantage of his of Gooden running a bit wide.
Chris Moses has turned an 18.5, so an 18.5 betters our qualifying race pace here by about half a second over what Andres Prieto has done previously. Marco Conti out of the race, Al.
Ouch.
From the 11th spot, took a DNF.
Prieto under pressure from Mayfield. Mayfield having a look on the inside. He thought better of it.
Boy, that was a good opportunity to swap places there for a second with a teammate Juan Monroy. I guess there's no team orders there at Team Columbia.
I think Prieto had a bit of a moment there through Lacombe. Lost a bit of time, allowed Mayfield to get right up on his bumper.
Yeah, well, Mayfield obviously Mayfield obviously showing great pace here in our feature race. Was a little off there in qualifying, but showing that he's got the pace. He wants to go forward.
I'll tell you what, if these two guys, Mayfield and Gooden, team up next season, if they come back for next season, they're going to be quite a force to be reckoned with. Because both those guys have quite a bit of pace.
Taking a look a little further back, Al, still battles all over the place. Kevin Miller and David Rowley are in lockstep. Marty Uren and Rodrigo Triana for the 11th position.
Mayfield gets into the back of Prieto. Prieto, in turn, gets into Monroy. Monroy has... Oh, what a big incident there.
Wow.
Prieto rejoins in 7th. He actually... might have lost one spot, but I think the loser in that was certainly Monroy. But Mayfield is really tucked underneath Prieto, and I think he just tried to come out and make a move and just left it too late. Got into the rear corner of Prieto. Could have been a lot worse, but. Not much time lost for Prieto.
Wow, yeah, I mean, it hurts from the standpoint that he's given up those positions where if there's a little problem in front by a couple guys, he has a chance to, possibly pick up a point or so. But now he's having to go through like 4 guys in front of him having trouble. So Andre is definitely on the outside looking in.
So Montgomery's picked up a spot. He's ahead of Mayfield. David Poole and Gooden benefiting from that incident. So yeah, Monroy he shuffled back to 10th. He was he was making his way through the bus stop, and Prieto just slid right into the side of him. I don't think he even saw it coming. So. Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to see it. Was that a situation of breaking on the grass there and losing control, do you think, Al?
No, I just think he tried to swing out, and as he did, he was really close to Prieto as he swung out. He just kind of clipped him. I don't think it was, obviously it was a mistake, but I don't think it was something he tried to do.
Yes, certainly. David Poole now putting the move on Wyatt Gooden. He gets it wrong at the bus stop. Wyatt Gooden has to take evasive action.
So Poole should...
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, Poole should give that spot up. I'm sure he will. maybe not. We'll see. Wow. Well, CC may be busy this week yet again here in GT2. So, meanwhile, up front, it looks like that gap has shrunk slightly. Oops. What do we got?
Ryan Mayfield and Salem Montgomery Jr. Ryan Mayfield gets into Salem Montgomery Jr. coming up a Rouge. Both of them spin.
So it looks like Mayfield may have stalled the car.
Oh! That was a tough rejoin there for Ryan Mayfield.
Well,
but everybody survived.
So I did not catch that. So was it... ooh, White. White, you know... After that incident, he was in 18th. He still finds himself in 17th.
There's just... I think it's aero damage that's really holding him back. The Z-Force power combined with the aero damage and the weight just is a spelling disaster, I think, here for Alex White.
So he's got Jaime Moore and Kevin Miller up ahead. And really, well, it may be easy for him now as Miller gets into the side of Moore. Oh! And Moore. Miller got into the side of Moore that collected White. White's going to drop back. He's trying to get out of this gravel trap. Oh my God, he's falling back to at least 20th. 22nd. What a turn of events here for White and Miller. Miller taking a look on the inside of Moore on Puhom. Probably not the best spot to try and make a pass, and just washed up into Moore. And White losing out big time there. So White's going to have his work cut out for him in the feature race next week for sure.
As any of our regular broadcasters know, I'm not usually at a loss for words, even if I have to make them up, Al. But in this case, I'm just speechless.
So we're working lap 10 here at Spa. Well, we told you it was going to be a wild one here. I mean, these qualifying races usually are.
Yeah, Ryan Mayfield into the pits from the 15th position. I can tell you, well, we've had everything else going on. Aaron Parsons has slowly started to reel Chris Moses in. Now, we are quickly running out of laps here, working lap 9 now, but Aaron Parsons showing that he is likely to have very good feature race pace.
So Wyatt Gooden has either made it past Poole, or Poole is giving him the position back. So Wyatt Gooden back out in front of David Poole. Preto remains in that 7th spot. Monroy now in 8th. Marty and Triana. You know what? We haven't talked much about these two, but these two have been going at it since the drop of the green flag.
You know, they have, but they've also been moving through the field. Marty Urin, way back there in 17th, has quietly put in a very nice effort here to be running 9th currently. Has, from what I've seen anyway, stayed out of trouble.
Whoa!
And, broadcaster's cursed.
Huge moment for Marty. He just locked it up on the braking. That was odd. So, he makes it easy for Triana. Triana now up to 9th, Marty in 10th.
Yeah, and just behind him, another guy I was going to mention was John Houston, now up to the 12th position, being pressured by Salem Montgomery Jr., but nonetheless, John Houston in 12th.
I think Houston may have pace on, Montgomery may have pace on Houston. Ooh, as Montgomery takes it well wide. David Rowley running in the 14th spot. Not far off of these guys up ahead. So Tomas in 13 says 12 laps makes the drivers push too hard. Do you agree with that, Brad?
No, I mean, look, there's a difference between taking extra chances and just simply overdriving. Okay, so there's a difference there, and I don't think that extra 12 laps should make anybody drive overdrive at all.
Well, it could just be the nature of the race itself, being a qualifying race. These guys wanted to move up the grid, improve their qualifying positions.
Now, well, you talk about that, you know.
David Rowley has lost it through Eau Rouge. The medical crew is en route. They just extinguished the flames, and he's okay.
Thank God.
So, that's not going to help WWRL7's team chances, team championship hopes, but you never know. He could turn it around in the feature race next week.
Yeah, it was near disaster for Team Columbia, but it has been almost complete disaster here for WWRL7 tonight. Tough race for those guys.
Well, meanwhile, up front, it's been all Chris Moses as he has checked out. He's got Parsons behind, but I think he's actually picked up some time on him.
Aaron Parsons has picked up a little.
I take that back.
Yeah, Aaron Parsons has picked up a little bit of time. Now, we talked with Chris Moses there before the start of the race. He said he would be good toward the end of the stint. However, Aaron Parsons is proving the better here these last couple laps, reeling Chris in slightly.
Well, we got one to go here in this qualifying race. So it's going to take a lot of work if Parsons wants to get past Moses. Either that or a few more laps, but that's not going to happen. So it's Moses, Parsons, followed by Canola. Joe LaCour, well, Joe LaCour, after getting passed by Parsons, has really been on his own here in fourth, but nonetheless a good run for him.
Yeah, and real quickly, Al, I'll just say I don't know how much he would have been on his own without that Wyatt Prieto-Monroy fight. I think those guys fighting in amongst each other really let Ian kind of escape.
So David Poole has managed to get back past Gooden for that fifth spot. Wyatt Good back in sixth. Prieto remains in seventh. His teammate right behind him in eighth. Triana running in ninth. And Marty rounds up your top 10.
Yeah, there's a battle for 17th. You may want to switch to Al. Sorry to interrupt you there, but well, we're on our last lap, I guess. So.
Well, there surely is. White and well, there's about 8 cars here. You got a Mosleroff, Kevin Miller, Brian Story. White really trying to take many looks to try and get by, but it's just not happening. Meanwhile, up front, Chris Moses around Le Circus for the last time to take the checkered flag here at Spa. It's been a long time coming for him. Parsons to second. Canola will take third. Joe LaCour fourth. David Poole will bring it home in fifth. Wyatt Good sixth. Prieto and Monroy seventh and eighth. Triana ninth. Marty 10th. Hamilton will bring it home at 11th here. We got a late hope for Salem, but not going to happen as Houston's going to take 12th. Salem 13th. Oh, Lou battling with Mike Greatrix here at the end of this race. That's a guy we forgot to mention. Lou always does well here at Spa. And he's done very
Great
well
run
to
for him.
move himself up to 14th. So Lou should finish. He's looks like he's going to get it done here in 14th. Great tricks. Nice run for him as well in 15th. Wilkeson 16th. So Phil Hooks is going to start next week in 17th. And Alex White loops it at La Circus right on the last lap. Wow, that's a lapse of concentration there for him. And it looks like he's going to bring it home in 22nd. 23rd, rather. 24th, Kevin Miller. Rodriguez and Ivy. Ivy might be out of gas. Not quite sure what's going on with Jack. Cannon 24th. Mayfield's going to finish 25th. And Jack's going to... Well, he's going to take 26th.
Well, what a race, you know. This does count as an official win if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I'm a little funny on those things, but if indeed it does, that is Moses' first win of the season. That's pretty remarkable. So the story toward the front are the NAGP longtime veterans, Chris Moses and Aaron Parsons. White running into trouble tonight. And Andres Prieto not able to get the job done and pick up sorely needed points. Frantic race, Al.
Amazing race. Actually, Chris Moses is back in the booth with us. Chris, do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Chris, congratulations. Great win. You had really a tremendous start to the race. You really got a nice hole shot there and, well, pretty much led the field away from that point on. Managed to put a nice gap between you and Canola. Parsons started reeling you back in a little bit there at the end, but you managed to hold on. How does it feel to finally bring home a win this season?
Wow. At least I won something. I can put it that way. Yeah, Tiago was very professional in the opening lap there. Didn't try anything too crazy, and just trying to pace myself. And like as a serve notice, he's got a really nice race setup, so he really was running good there later in the stint. And hopefully I can put this thing together for next week.
Yeah, and we noticed the same thing also, that late pace by Eza. So obviously you have a very good race pace yourself there over the course of 12 laps. How about over the course of 2 hours next week?
Actually, should have a fairly good advantage. I have a little advantage with fuel economy. Just going to make sure I protect the front tires. Overcome most of the shortcomings of the car at this track. The biggest shortcomings, power at the traction wheels out of the slow corners. It's a pretty constant speed track. And then the understeer is just really only affecting me at Blanchimont noticeably. But I feel like I got a good shot for next Monday.
Well, Chris, congratulations. It's definitely a great drive here tonight. And teammate fell into a little bit of bad luck there. Ended up dropping out of the race. But hopefully you guys can come back and put in a strong performance next week.
Yeah, I got a communication from the pit lane that he was unhappy. So we'll have to go over that and put together a strong run for next Monday to finish off the season.
All right, good luck next week.
Thanks for all you do, guys.
So there you have it, Chris Moses winning tonight here in the qualifying race. And, well, it's going to be, if everything starts well next week, it's going to be quite a battle between him, Canola, and Parsons. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that for sure next week. But the story tonight was Alex White. Well, there was a few stories tonight, but most noticeably Alex White really struggling, getting caught up in some incidents and falling back way back to 23rd.
Yeah, well, we'll have to, as they say, go to the videotape to check exactly what happened there with Alex White. It was a bad night for him, but I tell you, I'm really looking forward to this next week's feature event. I think a lot of the guys are going to have a very consistent pace and are going to be running pretty close together, and I think I'm not sure we're going to see the type of gap sometimes we ordinarily see at our 2-hour feature race next week. So an exciting time coming up. I'm already looking forward to it, and it's been a fun season. So I'd like to thank the viewers as well for tuning in with us this season. We got one more to go, so hope to see you there next week.
Well, you're right. It's definitely going to shape up to be a great race, and we hope to have you guys back next week for that final 2-hour race from Spa to determine our winner, our driver's champion, our team champion, as well as our competition index champion. We'll have all that to go through next week. But until then, you can tune in Thursday night for Super Pole from Circuit of the Americas in GT1. So that's going to be single lap qualifying and a lot of fun, and it's going to be a race a lot of guys are looking forward to. So hopefully, if you can't join us on track, you can tune in and watch the broadcast with Jack Ivey and Ken Rodriguez. So until then, we'll see you next week from Spa. And Brad, thanks again for helping out.
Thank you.
See you guys next week.